when you date a Filipino man, he's got to court you, and it may take months before you even kiss him or whatever. But with the foreigner, as soon as he gets off the plane, boom.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
There's a big difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, she got lucky. I didn't get lucky.
Or
She
a nice
did.
person or
Because
what?
most you don't know, you get lucky.
Yeah. You don't know.
You know, but we don't get lucky. They do. Now, what were you living before you met me?
Filipino culture is built on foundational concepts like family orientation, hospitality, shame or propriety, and debt of gratitude. These aren't quaint customs to be observed from the outside. They're integral aspects of how Filipino society functions and maintains social cohesion. When foreigners attempt to critique or reshape these cultural elements without proper understanding or invitation, they risk perpetuating harmful colonial attitudes that position Western perspectives as inherently superior. The danger lies not just in overt criticism, but in subtle forms of cultural imperialism where foreign residents assume they understand local dynamics better than locals themselves. This attitude can manifest in commentary about family structures, gender roles, economic practices, or social hierarchies without recognizing complexity and historical context that shape these systems. The Philippines experienced centuries of colonization under Spanish and American rule, followed by Japanese occupation during World War II. This history created complex relationships with foreign influence that continue to shape how Filipinos interact with Westerners today. Some foreigners may benefit from residual colonial attitudes that privilege Western perspectives, but this doesn't make such dynamics healthy or appropriate. Modern Western retirees must be conscious of this historical context and actively strive to avoid replicating colonial patterns. This means approaching Filipino society with genuine humility, recognizing that being foreign doesn't grant special insight into local issues, and understanding that criticism of Filipino culture from outsiders can carry painful historical echoes. The most respectful approach involves recognizing that Filipino society, like all societies, has its own mechanisms for social change and cultural evolution. These processes are best led by Filipinos themselves, informed by their own values and priorities, rather than directed by foreign voices who may lack crucial cultural context. Unfortunately, some foreign residents in the Philippines do perpetuate harmful stereotypes, engage in exploitative relationships, or promote colonial attitudes. Other foreign residents have a responsibility to avoid amplifying these voices and, when appropriate, to model better behavior. This doesn't necessarily mean confronting every problematic individual, but it does mean being conscious of the broader narrative that the foreign community creates about itself, supporting respectful voices, engaging with Filipino perspectives, and demonstrating through personal behavior that foreigners can be positive community members all contribute to better cross-cultural dynamics.
Again today, the intimate clause in a prenuptial agreement, is that necessary? Intimate clause. Is that even necessary? I think it is, because he was saying, Cal.
The rise of social media and online platforms has given many foreigners in the Philippines new venues for sharing their perspectives about Filipino culture and society. While free expression is valuable, foreign residents should be thoughtful about how they use these platforms. Commentary that positions a foreign perspective as more enlightened or that seeks to educate Filipinos about their own society is problematic. Similarly, content that reduces Filipino people to stereotypes or that exploits cultural differences for entertainment can be harmful, even when not intentionally malicious. More constructive approaches might involve sharing personal experiences without making broad cultural judgments, highlighting positive aspects of Filipino culture, or collaborate with Filipino voices rather than speaking over them. The goal should be cultural bridge building rather than cultural critique. Successful integration into Filipino society requires moving beyond superficial interactions or transactional relationships. This means learning local languages, at least basic Tagalog or regional languages, understanding local customs, participating in community events, and building genuine friendships with Filipino people across different social and economic levels. It also means recognizing that integration is a two-way process. While foreigners should adapt to local customs, they can also contribute their own skills, experiences, and perspectives in ways that are welcomed and valued by local communities. The key is ensuring that such contributions are offered respectfully and in response to actual local needs rather than assumed deficiencies.
Have problems in the bedroom. Does the Filipino feel like it's her obligation to take care of her man, in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Probably fueled by his current addiction to the S word, we keep hearing the same old story being reinforced by a biased and corrupt co-host. The Roach is rewriting portions of Filipino society that have been held sacred for over 100 years. This colonial mindset stems from someone who believes we owe the world because he is the result of a free handout. There's a book titled Everything You Should Know About Women with 1,000 blank pages. How is it that Filipinas can be singled out and graded in barrels? From 18-year-olds to single moms, the Roach is infatuated with the very existence of Filipinas, it seems. Western men in the Philippines should be especially mindful of how their relationships might be perceived and whether they are contributing to harmful stereotypes about Filipino women. This doesn't mean such relationships are inherently wrong, but it does mean they require extra self-reflection and cultural sensitivity. Healthy cross-cultural relationships are characterized by mutual respect, shared decision-making, cultural appreciation rather than fetishization, and genuine compatibility beyond economic considerations. Partners should be able to engage as equals, with both individuals bringing value to the relationship beyond financial resources or visa opportunities. Filipino women, like women everywhere, are individuals with their own agency, goals, and perspectives. Reducing them to stereotypes, whether positive or negative, is dehumanizing and reflects poorly on the person making such generalizations. Respectful foreign residents recognize and celebrate this individuality rather than viewing Filipino women through the lens of preconceived notions. Foreign residents benefit from economic disparities between their home countries and the Philippines. This creates both opportunities and responsibilities. The opportunity is to enjoy a comfortable lifestyle and potentially contribute to local economies. The responsibility is to do so in ways that benefit Filipino communities rather than exploit economic differences. The rise of social media and online platforms has given many foreigners in the Philippines new venues for sharing their perspectives about Filipino culture and society. While free expression is valuable, foreign residents should be thoughtful about how they use these platforms. Commentary that positions a foreign perspective as more enlightened or that seeks to educate Filipinos about their own society is problematic. Similarly, content that reduces Filipino people to stereotypes or that exploits cultural differences for entertainment can be harmful, even when not intentionally malicious. More constructive approaches might involve sharing personal experiences without making broad cultural judgments, highlighting positive aspects of Filipino culture, or collaborating with Filipino voices rather than speaking over them. The goal should be cultural bridge building rather than cultural critique.